Hey, everybody, welcome back to episode 6 of Chat with Corey. Yes, episode 6. May have made a mistake last week and said we were doing episode 5, or 4 instead of 5. So last week was episode 5. This is episode 6. And boy, quite the experience, quite the good times we had. Last week in Atlanta, Georgia, me and two buddies made the trip to Atlanta, Georgia, got to see IU just dismantle a very good Oregon Ducks team. Just says a lot about the Indiana Hoosiers when it comes to their football program and where they have come from the Louisiana's football program in Division I football to the national championship game this coming Monday. Couple of highlights. Hoosier Nation traveled extremely well to Atlanta. I would say it was 85-90% Hoosier fans to the Oregon fans. And yes, it was a much easier trip for those of us from Indiana and around the country to get there than what it is probably for those people from Oregon. Oregon's people very classy, very friendly. Those in our section anyways. Indiana just looks fresh. They just look fresh. I think that's the key. Coach Cignetti has talked about how his practice regimen goes. Heard him say that Monday's walkthrough, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they go about an hour 35, hour 45, and then Friday, once again, is typically another walkthrough getting ready for Saturday. And I am a firm believer in my coaching career, my playing career. I always one that believed that rest and being fresh and being healthy is very key. That environment in Atlanta, when D'Angelo Pons gets the interception on the first play of the game and takes it to the house for a touchdown, the place was just phenomenal. It was just going crazy, and what an experience! What a great opportunity to be there and enjoy that game. Extremely proud to be a Hoosier fan. I know, not being an alumni from Indiana University, what it means to the alumni, what it means to some very good friends, what it means to my wife, what it means to my sister, those who have that Indiana University degree. It really means something to them. So what is at stake on Monday night for the Hoosiers? The first thing that is at stake is their first ever national championship in college football. From the Louisiana's program to maybe, quite possibly, a national championship in college football in just 2 years is just a phenomenal feat. They're trying to be the first team since Yale in 1894. Yes, the first team since Yale football in 1894 to go 16-0 in college football. So what a time to be a Hoosier fan. It's 50 years since the 1976 undefeated Coach Bob Knight team. We'll have some decor coming to represent that in the time soon, very soon around us here for our set here for Chat with Corey, acknowledging the 1976 Indiana Hoosiers who won the national championship in basketball under the great coach Robert Montgomery Knight. Just an awesome display by them. Indiana at the beginning of the year was 101 chance to win the national championship, and they are now an 8.5 point favorite for Saturday night versus the Miami Hurricanes. What is Miami Hurricanes' case? What can they do to make this a good game? What can they do to make this happen? Well, the Hoosiers don't make a whole lot of mistakes, so that's the first thing Miami's got to make sure they take care of, that they don't make a whole lot of mistakes. It needs to be very similar to the Ohio State game. It needs to be, for Ohio State, Indiana University game, it needs to be low scoring. Miami needs to dominate both sides of the ball on the line. They need to keep it low scoring. They need to have very few mistakes. Their defense is very solid. That's been said all year long. I said last week, and I will say again, Miami has something to prove. A lot of people didn't think that they deserved to be in the 12-team playoff. They got in the 12-team playoff. They have something to prove. They've had a great run. They play with a lot of enthusiasm themselves. They look fresh, maybe not quite as fresh as the Hoosiers, but they look fresh. And so it should be just a fantastic game. And once again, the Hoosiers have got, Fernando Mendoza just leading that offense, spinning that thing, as I said before. He can really spin it, and he's, arguably going to be one of the top picks in the NFL draft, but hopefully not long after he makes a big splash, an even bigger splash for the Indiana Hoosiers, and hopefully they can bring home that championship. Monday night, 7:30, ESPN. Looking forward to it. Who knows? Maybe us school teachers and us parents who have children in school still, maybe we'll have a 2-hour delay on Tuesday. You just never know what the possibility of that may be. The average age of the Indiana Hoosiers is 23. They're very mature. If the portal has shown anything, it has led to another one of my philosophies, and that is experience sometimes is more valuable than what people realize. I know when we were coaching, a lot of times people said, would you rather have a freshman play and get the experience, or whether you rather have the upperclassmen? Well, a lot of times I lean towards that upperclassman because physically they were more ready. Yes, we would like to get the experience to those young kids, but you just experience. The average age of Indiana University is 23 years old. They have had a lot of guys play a lot of football. In years past, 23 years olds are already in the NFL. With the new rules and the new landscape of college athletics, that's the norm. Now, the average age of Miami, 2021. Although their quarterback, Carson Beck, I think he's close to my age. I'm 48. Maybe he's getting close to that. Just kidding, everyone. Just kidding. But he has been in college football for 6 years. So, let's go Hoosiers. Let's see what we can do on Monday night. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to watch that. I will definitely be one. I will definitely be one watching that and entertaining myself with that. Will not be in attendance. I do not have the $3,400 to buy a ticket in the upper deck compared to what we had to pay last week. But I'll be rooting like crazy, as will most of my family and friends here in Indiana. So that'll be Monday night. I'm looking forward to it. Let's jump into IU basketball. Man, oh man, they took it on the chin a little bit against Michigan State the other night. Here's my take. I've said it all year long, and I'll say it again. Indiana University is better. Indiana University has a philosophy that we know. They have a style. They have a brand. They play hard. They compete. But the bottom line is this. They have got to improve their rebounding. They've got to get better on their inside play, their interior play. Defensively, they've got to be able to guard a big, and they've got to be able to score in the paint. Even their guys that shoot it well when they attack the basket are not always great finishers. They're just small. So they've got to figure out a way. The Hoosiers have got to figure out a way to score inside. When the three's not falling, yes, the three ball is great. Yes, I love how well they shoot it. But they've got to figure out a way to make that happen and get out there and compete and rebound. They can't get out rebounded. They can't get beat up inside because when the three doesn't fall, you got to figure out a way to score. They just got to find a way to win. The last I checked, if the tournament started today for March Madness, they would be in the last four and they would be in the big dance. They've got a lot of work to do. They've got a lot of work. They got a lot of quad one games left. So they've got a lot of work to do. I think the biggest thing is they've got to take care of business in Bloomington and on the home court, but they got to steal a couple road wins. They've got to steal a couple road wins. They have one already, but they're 1-2, I believe, on the road. They've got to figure out a way to steal a couple road wins to improve that resume. They do not have any bad losses. Some may say the Minnesota loss is a bad loss, but didn't they just beat Iowa? Just saying. I'm just saying. So, hey, go Hoosiers. Figure out a way to score inside. Figure out a way to rebound a little bit better. But most importantly, let's try to get in the big dance this year, because our football team in Bloomington has already made us very, very, very proud. When we started this podcast, I was going to talk a little bit about auto sports. I am an auto racing fan. The Chili Bowl in Tulsa, Oklahoma is going on as we speak. I think the big night is Saturday night, but they'll race again tonight. They'll race, which is Friday, and then we'll race again Saturday night. A lot of big names out there: Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Emerson Axum won last night. It's just a lot of great midget racing, open wheel racing, dirt racing indoors in that Tulsa Expo out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Big news in the NASCAR world. NASCAR has taken a hit over the last few years. I do think it's on its way back. I'm a rejuvenated NASCAR fan, as my son and my former NASCAR chasing buddy and I have gotten excited again about going to NASCAR races and watching NASCAR races. So they have changed their points system for the better, I believe. They have changed it several times since 2004. But I think they have changed it for the better. Before 2004, I'm looking at my notes if you see me looking here. Before 2004, they basically awarded the winner 175 points. And then with each position 2 through 6, you would drop that by 5. Each position 7 through 11, you would drop that by 4. And then drop at 3 for positions 12 through 43, or 34 points for last. You get 5 bonus points for leading the lap, and you would get 5-point bonus points for leading the most lap. In 2003, when they changed, and they first originally went to the chase or the playoff format. In 2003, Matt Kenseth was your champion, but he had only won 1 races, and people thought that they had devalued the importance of winning races. And they went to the first 26 races of the season points race, and all the drivers in the top 10 and any other drivers within 400 points of the leader earned a berth in the chase. And then the first place in that situation would start with 550, second would start with 540 or 5,050, and then second place would start with 5,045, and it would drop by 5 points all the way down. In 2007, they expanded the field to 12 contenders. Each driver, the reset was at 5,000 points with a 10-point bonus for each race won. The first place driver in the standings then could have a little bit more by that. Then they made adjustments once again in 2011 through 2013. They added the stage points in 2017, which a lot of people, a lot of my friends, a lot of historians did not like it. And then so they had started meeting last February. I think I heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Mark Martin talk about this. They had started it last February, meeting on a fairly consistent basis, whether it was in person or if it was on Zoom. And when they started, Mark Martin was very adamant that they just needed a 36-point race for the points. And they did a little compromise between the chase and the old school pre-2004 system. The championship format was reformatted, went back to being called the chase is what they're going to do. 16 drivers will qualify for the chase, but no cutoffs are applied, and a race win does not qualify a driver for the chase. All drivers have their points reset to a minimum of 2,000 points, with the regular season champion given an additional 100 points. Second to 15th will also get additional points depending on their position. So when they started, the driver at first will start with 2,100 points. The driver in second will start with 2,075. Then they will drop 10 points down to the third. That'll be at 2,065. And then for positions 4 through 16, they will drop it by 5 points. Therefore, the 16th place driver will start with 2,000 points, 100 points below what the winner has. My thoughts are this. Never really understood the chase, or never really understood the stage points. They are going to continue to do that, I believe, but it's going to be more about your whole body of work. How do you race all year long, not just winning? Some people said the win and end was unfair because the win and end did not prove the consistency that it would take to win a points championship. And if you are winning races, you should be winning multiple races and running up front all year. You should be in that top 16. I'm excited to see how this will play out. We'll start it in February in Daytona. And I just am looking forward to the new points system for NASCAR. A couple little local high school sports tidbits here. Delaware County tournament's going on as we speak. A very important, close to my dear heart county tournament in the state of Indiana. I played in it. I coached in it. My dad played in it. My sister played in it. It's just a phenomenal tournament. It's been around since 1929. Went to the girls' sessions last night. The boys will continue again tonight with their semifinals. And then tomorrow night, Saturday night, 6 o'clock at Delta High School will be the girls' championship game between the Wapahani Raiders and the Delta Eagles. Coach Hudson at Wapahani is a good friend. I helped him last year. He has quite the program. He's very good. He has a plan every game. He does a great job versus the Delta Lady Eagles. And boy, they're just loaded, people. They are just loaded. They have a good team. Tyronda Benning is their coach, and she has done a very good job. They're a very deep team. They press, they get up and down. So hoping for a good game on the girls' side. The boys' tournament tonight for the semifinals will feature Yorktown and Wapahani. I believe it's Yorktown and Wapahani. You could correct me. And then the other two teams will be Delta and Westell. I will say, since 2011, the winner of the boys' side has either been Delta, Yorktown, or Wapahani. And on the girls' side, the last 5 years, it has either been Delta or Wapahani, which once again this year, it will either be Delta or Wapahani on the girls' side. Couple things that I just points of emphasis or points of contention, so to speak. Sitting last night watching the girls' county tournament and sitting last week at Delville High School watching the boys' game last week. I just, it's funny to me to see the reaction of parents. See a reaction of parents towards the coaches. See the reaction of the parents towards the players. See the reaction of the parents towards the officials. And then I sit and wonder sometimes, I want to know, did those parents play? Parents are constantly criticizing coaches, officials, their own child, other players while they're sitting in the bleachers. It's just weird to me to watch people sit at a game and see how they watch a game compared to that of one like myself who is a former coach. I hear a guy last night criticize a coach, the only coach to ever win a Delaware County boys championship in basketball and a Delaware County girls championship in basketball as a head coach. This guy sitting next to me was criticizing that particular coach. Just blows me away. Then you sit there and you listen to some of the parents who are up there just screaming and yelling at their own child. I don't understand. Sometimes I think we as an adults forget what it was like to be on that court if we ever were. And if you were never on that court as a player or a coach, you just don't understand the difficulty that goes on while you're playing. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot that you think you know, but you're not at practice every day. And those kids are out there with their adrenaline pumping, trying their best. And sometimes they get caught up in the moment and they forget what they're supposed to do. So maybe they don't need the criticism of their parents. Officials, they're aging out, people. We don't have young people wanting to officiate. The pay's not great. The way people are treating them is not great. And if you are a very good young official, you make it to the small college level, maybe even the Division I college level, and maybe even beyond that. So officials are hard to come by. So the fans that sit up there and criticize and yell at the officials the whole time, you're just not helping. You're just not helping the game. And then as a coach is always going to be questioned. A coach is always going to be second guessed. But as a coach, the job is hard enough without the criticism from the bleachers. To take it full circle and describe a little bit more what I'm talking about as I watched these two games last night, I watched the reactions of the fans, and typically they were parents. Just the way they were yelling at their own child while they were in the middle of the game, I'm like, wow, yelling at their own child from the bleachers. Criticizing and judging every move that a coach made, criticizing and judging every call that the official made. The officials make mistakes. The coaches make mistakes. The players make mistakes. But sometimes the most entertaining part for me is watching the reaction of the fans and parents who have no idea what goes into it. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I'm going to try to maybe drop a couple pictures down here, maybe somewhere from our exciting time last week in Atlanta, Georgia. If I can't figure it out, I guess I won't do it, but I'm going to try to figure out how to add some pictures to my videos here. Something I need to learn. And then, if you can find something you enjoy to do, people, do it. Whether it's athletics or whatever it may be, get out there and find those things you enjoy to do. Do them. Have fun. I just like seeing people doing things that brings them joy. And please, please, please continue to do that. Please like and subscribe down below. I know I've got a lot of work to do on this little Chat with Corey podcast, but it's something that brings me joy. It's kind of a downtime here trying to find some information to talk about that's already not been talked to death. I mean, the championship of the college football has been talked to death. I really don't follow the pro football game as well as I should. I probably will pick up on that a little bit. But go Hoosiers, national champions, Monday night. And if not, we'll still be very proud of what you have done in the first 2 years of the Curt Cignetti era. So until we join again, goodbye, everybody.